Once you have the Eddy Vision software installed, you will launch the program by double-clicking this yellow star, which is the Eddy Vision icon. Once you double-click that, your window should launch. If it doesn't launch right away and gives you some warning messages, just click OK to acknowledge those messages. And the first time you log in, you may get this login window. If you get this, just click the drop down and select this X1234. That's just a generic login ID for Kortek trainees. Then you'll select OK. And then to look at the first data set, you'll simply just go to File, and then we're going to Open Project. And then we're going to click on Kortek Training 101. Select Open, and now you can see some data displayed. So the first thing you should do here is, so you don't have to do a calibration setup on this one, just go to where it says Setup at the top, click that, and say File, Open. And then this is a setup that I've created. That's just my analyst logging code. Res is for the resolution analyst. You don't have to worry about what that means right now, but it's just a type of setup. And then once you've highlighted it, you'll just say Open, and then say OK at the bottom. What this has done is it located my setup parameters that I've already configured. Then what you can do is hit File. Actually, no, go to Setup, and then go File, Save As. And you see how it populates it with the code you logged in as, X1234. Just say Save Setup. So now you have copied my setup, K7060, and saved it to your X1234 setup. So now it's your own setup. You just stole it from me. So then we'll say OK, and then you see the screening button here. When you click on that, what that does is it captures your screen parameters here. And as you advance from one tube file to the next, if you're changing spans and rotations and things like that, when you go to the next tube, it'll automatically reset to what your screen parameters were for the prior tube when you loaded it. But so you don't have to keep resetting your spans and rotations every time you pull in a new tube. So the purpose of this cal really is to, you can see a simple setup here. This particular cal standard has a couple different 100% holes at the leading edge of the data. And then you've got a 60% flat bottom hole here. Then you got your 20% flat bottom holes from the OD. And then we've got some wear scar signals up here towards the top. There's one half of the differential signal. There's the other half of the differential signal. But the purpose of this data set, we're just going to go look at some tubes that don't have any discontinuities. So to get to the first actual tube record, there's two ways you can do it. You see where this says File For? You can just left click on that. That'll advance you to the next file. Or you can go to T-List, and you can just select the tube right there and say, OK, that loads the first tube. Again, these are your expanded strip charts. You can pull the data down into the window with your left mouse button while you're dragging the mouse. And you can change the size of your window by holding down your right mouse button and moving your mouse. But let's just go over here to the strip charts. And if you click down on your left mouse button and hold it down, and then scroll up through the data, you see a bunch of drilled tube support plate structures. And then we've got, that's the top of tube sheet expansion right there. And then ultimately we exit the tube up about here. one of the fundamental things you do when you're analyzing tubing data is you look for repeating patterns, like these tube support plates. And as you can see, they all look about the same. Now, if you saw a signal in between these tube support plate structures that didn't look like the rest of them, that would be your first indication that you could have a possible discontinuity. So far in this first record, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 support plates, and then a top of tube sheet signal. But what happens if we go look at an absolute channel? Let's just go to channel 2. Now I can hit the space bar to sort of center that data. That span's a little hot, so let's just bring it down by clicking on this span field here. Let's look at these support plate structures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They all look about the same. What if I go to channel 3, which is 112 kilohertz differential, and go to the next tube? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the top of tube sheet. To get good at bobbin coil data analysis, one of the things you have to do is look at lots and lots of data. Now, a typical tube that you might be inspecting could be 10 feet long, could be 50 feet long, could be 100 feet long, right? Think about how many feet are in a mile. 5,280, right? 5,280 feet in a mile. To get good at data analysis, you have to look at thousands and thousands, I dare to say hundreds of thousands of miles of tubing before you can get really good at it, because it takes a lot of experience and a good memory, because pattern recognition is a very large part of eddy current data analysis. You got to remember what flaws look like when you encounter them. Another big part of getting good at data analysis is if you have access to metallurgical data from tubes that may have been pulled from a working component, you want to compare those forensic results. For example, you had a metallurgist go in there and cut the tube in half, and then he took some measurements of a pit, for example, how deep it was, the diameter of the pit, and they're also going to do some chemical analysis on the tube, and they'll actually write a report. Well, once you get that report back, then you will compare that forensic data to the actual signals that you saw. And if you do that enough, you'll start to get a sense for what type of eddy current signals actually represent, real flaws. So a lot of it's pattern recognition, and a lot of it is also comparing eddy current data to real pulled tube results. We go to one more tube here, it's just more of the same. So you're looking for something that stands out, that's different, and we will do that in a future lesson.